Hi everyone, my name is Courtney Sager and my presentation is over culture change and long-term care. What is culture change? Culture change is the name given to a national movement for the transformation of older adult care. The care is based on person-directed values and practices where the voices of elders and those that are working with them are considered and respected. Person-centered care focuses on these 5 core values: choice, dignity, respect, self-determination, and purposeful living. So I'm going to focus on choice and just explain why choice is important. It's really important that the residents have the ability to choose what they want to do. So these are things like, what time does the resident want to get up in the morning? What time do they want to go to bed? What do they like to eat? It's just important to give the residents an independence in choosing and let them know that their voices do matter and that their opinions do matter in their care. So this is a video. It's a little bit exaggerated, but I think it does a good job explaining the differences between person-first care and not person-first care.
Come on, Mrs. C. It's time to go to the dining center for dinner.
I want to eat in my room tonight. I'm just too tired. I took the bus to the library today, and that's just enough for one day.
All right, well, you know you want to see Carrie and Bob, so let's get going.
I really want to eat in my room tonight. I can see Carrie at breakfast in the morning.
You know, I don't have time for this, so you either come and get your dinner, or I don't know how long it'll be until you get to eat.
The new DON told me that if I ate breakfast and lunch in the dining center, I could eat dinner in my room a couple nights a week, and all I had to do was either tell you or another aide, and they'd tell the dining manager, and they'd send a tray up to my room. Isn't that true?
Well, you know, she's new here. She doesn't really know what she's talking about, so I can tell someone if I think about it, but don't blame me if your dinner gets here late and it's cold.
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. C. It's Renee. Can I come in?
Hi, Renee. Sure.
Hi, I just wanted to see if you wanted to go to the dining hall for dinner tonight.
I'd really like to eat in my room tonight. I'm just very tired. I took the bus to the library, and that's about enough for one day.
That's your favorite place to go, and I see you found a few books.
I did. I always seem to find a few new ones, but I'd still really like to eat in my room tonight, and I'll go to the dining center in the morning when I feel more energized.
Okay, well, you seem to be having a little bit of trouble today, so are you feeling ill in any way, or are you just tired from the day?
I'm tired, but I do think I'm getting worse.
Okay, well, you can have your meal in your room anytime you want, and you have met our new DON, Mrs. Walters, right?
I have.
Yeah, she has some really interesting ways to make sure that you feel at home.
How can culture change be implemented? There are many aspects that needs to be addressed when making a culture change in a long-term care facility. One example is language. The words on the left are words that might be used in a retirement home that hasn't undergone any culture change. The words on the right are words that should be substituted when a facility has adopted a culture change. So for example, instead of saying you're in the transitional care wing, just put a name to it and call it a household instead of a wing. Another aspect of implementing culture change are implementing practices that are built around the residents' preferences, having personalized care plans, and engaging the family in the residents' care plans. So for personalized care plans, they're written in I format to encourage the residents to make decisions on aspects of their care. So instead of saying ambulation twice a day, the care plan would say, I would like to walk. My favorite times for walking are after lunch and before dinner. If the resident permits, it can be good for family members to be a part of the resident's care. The coordinator can sit down and go over the resident's care plan with the family and the resident. Changing the built environment is one of the biggest parts of culture change. By adding doors to all the households, this will make them look like more of a homey environment. When entering a house, a person would ring the doorbell just as if they were entering any other house. Keeping the household small will benefit the residents and staff in multiple ways. It will allow the staff to create relationships with the residents, which will have better personalized care. This will help better quality of life for the residents as well. By adding kitchens and living rooms to the households, it will make it seem more like a house. Here are some examples of pictures and ideas before and after culture change. On the left is a photo of a traditional nursing home with hallways that seem institutionalized. On the right is an example of culture change. Instead of having wings, they are called households, where each one has a living room. On the left is a photo of a traditional nursing home dining room. These often have long tables where residents may not get to choose where they would like to sit. On the right are dining rooms that portray culture change, a big kitchen with lots of round tables for residents to sit at so they can sit with whomever they would like. One example that we're all probably familiar with is Meadowlark Hills. Upon getting hired at Meadowlark, the employee will go through person-first training where they are taught the core values of culture change. Meadowlark Hills sits on 50 acres in the Flint Hills and has 9 total households and independent living apartments and cottages. Meadowlark is unique in that it has many activities available for the residents. These include a restaurant, a pub where many of the residents like to gather and watch K-State football games, a library where residents can check out books, a cinema that includes a big theater screen, surround sound, and a popcorn machine, and gardens where many of the independent living residents like to grow vegetables and flowers. So if culture change is such a good thing, why is there any resistance to it? Changes to any existing system can be difficult. Professionals who have been schooled on the traditional, long accepted medical model are now being asked to look at their care from a different perspective. If the retirement home completely wants to adopt culture change, it will come with a lot of expenses. Many times this means parts of the home have to be rebuilt or completely remodeled. Another example of expense is the menu. The menu will have to be adapted so the residents will be able to have a choice. If a facility can't find funds to completely remodel their facility, then they can still adapt some ideas of culture change. The person-centered drivers are called this because they have adopted the ideas of culture change but haven't completely changed. This can be things like changing the wall colors or the pictures on the wall so that they look more homey, implementing person-first care, adding curtains for privacy between shared rooms, providing residents with the ability to choose what time they want to get up or go to bed, and providing activities for residents to participate in. So why is this important? Why is culture change so important? Someday we're all going to need cared for, whether that will be in a retirement home or in your own home. How will you want to be cared for? Speaking for myself, I'm going to want to be independent for as long as I can. I want to have the ability to choose what time I want to wake up and what I want to wear for the day. They're simple choices, but they do mean a lot in independence for an individual. Culture change also provides a better quality of life for everybody involved. It's a better quality of life for the staff because they aren't overworked and they're able to create relationships with the residents. These relationships will benefit the residents in that they will have personalized care, and their care will lead to a better quality of life.